What am I looking at here? Okay, cool. Actually it's here. Okay, good. 25 gold. Good evening, buddy. How's life? Let me just make sure everything's set up properly here. Yeah, it should be. Yes, that's good. Just give me 2 seconds. Okay, that's good. Kirill, my friend, good evening. Good evening. Alrighty. Just maybe. Yeah, actually, no, that this is fine. Cool. All right, maybe. Yeah. Your VS Code setup is so good, I had to copy it. I mean, good man. I'm happy that you liked it. That's good. That's always good to. We all get inspired by something sometimes, right? That's great, man. Great to hear. Great to hear. Great to hear. All right, so it's kind of getting a bit harder to work on this because it's now really getting into details and stuff. So we'll need to kind of figure out the layout of things, etc., right? Because right now everything kind of looks the same and looks like crap. But I think when we truly finish this, it's gonna be when I record the actual first course. Then we're gonna see how things actually are. Yeah. I'm just gonna do some tiny things. So let's get started. Let's get some work done. Leo, my friend, good evening. Good to see you again, man. Good to see you again. What did I want to do? Oh yeah, I wanted to just do one thing back here, and that is Max Dev. Good evening, buddy. Image class name. What is this course card? I see. Okay. Actually, no. What is? Where is this fella? Yeah, it is this thing. Okay, text gray. What? Oh, interesting. Okay, we don't really have a text indigo 500. Let's just start somewhere small, just to do some work. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And what did we did last night? We did those ratings and stuff, so we'll need to kind of clean that up, right? And that's okay. And then here we need to do some layout because this kind of sucks, right? Let's try to get inspired a bit, and I hope everyone's doing fine tonight. I was kind of thinking, should I stream or maybe just chill out a bit in the evening, but I'm like, okay, I'm actually gonna stream. Good, man. Good. Good, I would say. Yeah, I would say pretty good, man. It's moving forward, right? It's moving forward for sure. Give me 2 seconds. And yeah, let me just do one thing quickly. Because this music is slightly putting me to sleep. Where's my player? Yeah. Yeah, this is, I think, a bit better. Yeah, exactly. I need, okay. So, yeah. Okay, I see. I see. And let's get it. So it's just how do we present this now in a bit. So yeah, this is way an overkill, right? This is an author. Like, I don't think this information is that necessary, right? So let's just fiddle with this a bit, and then we see where we land. So avatar, yeah, this is basically authors and stuff. So let's reorder some of this stuff a bit. So like course overview, the author should be here. Let's actually get rid of this this thing. Yeah, let's just figure. Yeah, so okay, yeah, sure. I don't know what I need to disable that sticker stuff until I finish it. I kind of found something. Char, good evening, buddy. Good evening. Hello to you as well. Course overview. Yeah, so something approximately we're gonna have like that, right? It's just I wonder. What the hell is going on? You come here, you see the overview, you see that, you enroll in it, then there's an author, right? It just feels so strange. How was it here? They had that sort of overview in the top, right? Last edited language. So they have this kind of footer here, right? This line over here. So this thing here, right? Heart icon. So maybe something like this, right? I don't know. Maybe something like that would be better, right? So who wrote it? What is the ratings? Yeah, let's try that. So if we actually then take this fella here, rating widget as well, and we smack it somewhere over here, maybe. And also, let's fix this just for a second. So we have this thing, have this utility we wrote last night, right? Yeah. So let's go down here. let's just say that this should be shown if ratings.length and the fuck is going on, man? Jesus Christ. Exactly. Actually, yeah, pretty much none of this should be shown. So let's do this like this. And then ratings.length. That's Manho, thank you very much, buddy. Jesus Christ, now it's getting into those details. It's gonna be a bit painful, right? And that's maybe slightly better. And yeah, we'll need to something like that maybe, right? And then you should also be able to, didn't we add the, oh, we didn't actually. Okay, so let's do that as well. So when you do that, we get you to this state. So actually this cancel should be visible on both forms, right? Yeah, so you should be able to cancel out of that, right? Yeah. Yeah, something like that, right? Okay. So that's not completely horrible, right? And this is obviously like mega white. So let's update that a bit. So where would this be? Yeah, over here, right? So let's say text gray 500 or some crap like that. And also I don't like that this is medium and stuff like that. So let's do this. Let's do that. Let's actually get rid of this crap. Something like that. Yeah, shit. I don't know, man. I don't know. Come on. No reviews, yes. Of course. No reviews. Be the first to write a review. Oh. All right, so let's see. Do that. This is my view. I don't know, man. It's a bit. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Right? Yeah, I think it's maybe better. Yeah. Try to remove this. The course has no reviews either. Yeah, it would be maybe better if this was centered. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think I will add the margin for sure. I definitely agree. No question about that. Definitely agree. Yeah, okay, so the text was way too big. We definitely need a top margin. There's no question about that. Mark Holm, good evening, buddy. I have a design question. I have a component which includes a table of data. I also have a create button here, which opens a new form component. Should that be logic for posting to API be in the parent component, or should it be in the child component, form component? I have a design question. Okay, so let's see what you have, right? I think the easiest is if we can visualize it, right? So I have a design question. I have a component which includes table of data. So you have a component like this, and then inside of that component you have a table component, right? So this outer component is a container component, right? Okay, cool. Give me 1 second. What did I want to do actually? I don't fucking know. I don't remember. I for sure wanted to do something. All right. Not necessarily, no. I would disagree with that because maybe you will never use that in any file at all. So I don't think that sort of premature moving of things because they might be used in a different file is a golden rule, right? You have to be very careful. We spoke about this over generalization and over, right? You might, if you end up using it in a different file, then you can move it at that point to a different file, right? So I don't think that's necessarily true, right? But anyway, I have a design where I have a component which includes a table. I also have a create button here which opens up a new form component. Should the update logic for posting to API be in the parent component, or should be? Well, I mean, it's not quite clear to me what you have. So you have some table with some like columns and rows and stuff like that look like this, right? So it's kind of tabular data, right? Yeah, so you have a button somewhere, right? So you have a button, and what does that button do, right? You add a new item to the table. So let's imagine this is that button, and it says add new, right? Is this what this button does? It opens up some form to add the thing. Well, I mean, okay, I know that this is not your question, but I'm just going to be a smartass for a second. I think it's way easier if you build a table that has... So the thing is, one nice UX thing that you can do is that you can always have your first item in your list as the creation item, right? So this item here could be your item that only stays on the top, and it has input fields visible. So your table cells would have those inputs. So it's way more natural to the table itself when you insert directly here than when you are opening a new form and then coming back to the table. But anyway, that's not the question, right? So and second of all, when it comes to edit, so you're asking, your question is where should you put a service or a call, right? So you're quite, I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? That really boils down. So the thing is, this is a very simple thing, right? You obviously, this really depends how you compose your component, right? If this table is generic, then clearly you want to put your call outside, because this component here is going to take some props. So this component is going to take handle create, handle update, right? So this guy here, so this component over here is gonna get like handle, you know, update, you know, handle delete, whatever, and then you're gonna pass that specific item to that handler. So whichever item the user is trying to edit, right? So that's what props are for, right? So clearly, if you want this whole component to be reusable, right? No, it's not a holiday. It's a normal day. No. Right, so clearly, anyway, you know, you wanna, if you don't already, this table should be a component that you can reuse, and it should have various handlers for deleting, for every, you know, for your CRUD operations, right? I mean, think about anchor tag, right? Like, it's the same as anchor tag. You have anchor tag, right? Like a tag, and it takes href, it takes alt, right? So it's the same here, right? It's no different, right? You want to use props here for your table to be reusable in different places, right? Is that clear, Mark? Awesome. So just make the component reusable, right? Think about the table that you're going to use it in many places. In many different places, that table is going to have to do some action. So you want to make it reusable. How do you make it reusable? Only in one way, that's properties. That's what we did in HTML past 30 years. You pass some attribute. When you have an anchor tag, right, it doesn't care which image you give it. It just takes a URL and then it renders that image, right? So that's how you want your table to behave as well. That's how you generally want your every single component to behave, to be as dumb as possible, right? That's why you want to write functions so they're also as dumb as possible, right? Okay, so let's go and just add a bit of validation here. So where is this rating widget? So we have rating form. Yeah. So let's just add, because it seems to me that we didn't actually make anything required here, right? So we actually have to do that. So let's say here, properties comment. So let's just say here, required stars and comments, right? And then here we're gonna say min length we're gonna improve this eventually. It doesn't really matter. Here we can just say min is 1 and then error message, please select it, please select, I don't know, that kind of sucks, right? But doesn't matter. Yeah, I think I've added this macro, whatever is it called, right? Ah, I see. It doesn't like that I gave it a string, right? Yeah, a lot of people are asking about it, and I just figured instead of answering it every single time, right? Just what the fuck is happening, man? Are you kidding me? Obi, good evening, my friend. How's life? Ooh, that's completely wrong. I put this at the wrong place, my bad. Implement what GB? Yeah, that wouldn't be stupid at all, actually. I like that. What is it? Min. No, I don't think it would be. No, I think it would be pretty smart to put it, the chat GPT. No, I don't think it would be stupid at all. Just to automate some stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Oh, actually, fuck yeah, that's actually a very good point. Yeah. What man? What was it? Exactly. True. Oh, but that's not gonna actually do it. But it's like my brain is lagging already. Why is it still passing, dude? That's super fucked up. What is going on? Rating form, use form, comments, yeah, stars, comments, type string, min length 25, error message min length. Yeah, it's super strange. How are we? Why is my validation failing? What are we doing? Let's see. Use form. Are we in the right place? Rating form. No, we're not in the right place. No. Or are we? Yeah, we actually are. Yeah, so that's a bit awkward. Let's see. Stars, yes, but the comment itself, yes. Stars, yes, absolutely, right? It does that with the stars, right? And now actually stars are failing. It's just like, let's see, why is it? Yeah, so this is good. Now it's failing. It's like, hey, you need the stars, man. You need the stars, right? Actually, let's go back to the API just quickly here. Courses, nah. Rating schema. Rating body schema, right? Minimum 1, exactly. So let's actually just because it's the same schema on both ends in it's isomorphic, right? So let's just say something like, oops, that's let's just okay. Let's do this. Yeah, try that again. So now at least I think, yeah, but we not got shit. Okay. No, it's actually good. It's fine. Let's just not fix, but let's just extend the functionality of what we wrote last night, right? So we wrote this stars component, and I said, hey, we don't actually need an error inside it, but that's not true. We do need an error, right? So what we actually gonna do is we can show the error somewhere beneath the stars, right? So, and we're gonna basically make it the same as other errors. So we're gonna import my input error input. I think I call it input error. Yeah. And we're gonna conditionally render that if there's an error. So we're gonna say if there's an error, then do that and give it an error. All right, great. Then if we go back here to this fella, I believe, or no, so let's actually close this, close that over here, right? We just need to give, so my stars is basically, I treat it as a basic input, right? So here we can, I treat it as all of my other inputs that I implemented, right? So there's no difference, it is an input. So here we're just gonna say error. And let's see now, it's not still shown, it's a bit strange, let's take a look. Let's, or of course, I mean, so you see, we're solving this in a shitty way, right? We should never allow that you click out all of the stars, right? So we should force that this component only at least has one star, right? That way, because now we are fixing, now we are basically fixing, you know, a side effect of bad design, right? So let's not do that. So we can say here, now that's going to be an awkward thing. So if you select 5 stars and then do this, right? That's fine. 4, but the thing is, you know, if you select 5 and unselect, it would be maybe strange UX to set it to 1. But let's maybe do that, right? So let's never allow to set to no stars. So in fact, what we can simply do, right? We can always ensure that this component has 1 star at the very least, right? Thank you very much for the follow. Appreciate it, Fallovic. Yeah, so you can see now, so this way we don't really have to worry. So default state is gonna always be 1 star. On change, if selected, thank you guys for your follows. Appreciate it very much. Stars 0. What is this value? Ah, okay, never mind. So it's a wrong thing that I changed. So stars is gonna be, we can't actually do that because of some other thing. Yes, you can, absolutely, man. Let me just take a look at one thing. So if I try actually leaving a review, how many stars did I really give it? 5 stars, I did. All right, let's maybe not do, no, it's okay. How do you custom media queries, custom breakpoints in Tailwind CSS? You write media queries as in a regular way, right? If you go to V3 schools, I mean, I'm not sure what do you mean custom media queries Tailwind way, right? I don't think there is such a thing. You're not gonna, you would have to use a media rule, right? So you would have to do something like this, right? I don't think there is such a thing. Let's see. Yeah, you have to do something like this, yeah. Yeah, you would have to do something like this, I think. Maybe customize it in the Tailwind config, right? Yep. So basically what you can do is you can override those defaults, for example, right? Adding larger breakpoints. So yeah, so everything's in the docs, basically. Yeah, but that now your question becomes more than a question. It's why did it not work? You have to figure that out, right? We cannot know because we don't see your code, right? So why it didn't work is it would be incredibly difficult for any of us to tell you, because what do you mean it doesn't work, right? My pleasure, man. But use ChatGPT, use Google, and I'm sure that it works. I'm 100% sure that you... I'm 100% sure that it works. You have messed something up, right? I'm very confident that those guys didn't mess up this documentation, right? So you must have done something. Maybe you didn't restart your Tailwind compiler, right? This just-in-time compiler they have and stuff. So I don't know. But either way, I'm sure that it works. I'm sure that it's, yeah. All right, so that's actually fine. It's just why instance path stars. Yeah, that's a bit awkward. Okay, so it seems my validation. ChatGPT is amazing, man. It's an absolute must-have, without a question. Absolute must-have today if you want to be productive and stuff. Absolutely. And thank you guys for your follows and your support. Appreciate it. So, shit, man. We're not calling this valid. Jesus Christ, man. That's why our validation doesn't work. We're not calling this valid. This is a method. This is what I implemented. It's my own hook, right? So that's great. Okay. Yeah, now it's fine. Okay. We'll have to think about over it, and let's not lose our sleep over this. So many details. Now we're starting to fall into this very dangerous trap. So let's not do that crap, right? That even rhymes. Nice. I'm so proud. We're falling into this dangerous trap. Let's not do this crap. I like it. I'm going to put a patent on that. Okay, so I'm gonna answer that there's really no reason for this project, but please just take this as a feedback that you have to truly internalize. And let me tell you one secret: when you're writing JavaScript, you don't have to use TypeScript. This rule is not universal. It's not global. Doesn't apply to everybody. Don't take me wrong. I know that you're asking this genuinely, yeah. But it's like, I need people to understand that TypeScript isn't something that you must use. I think this is so fundamental for people to understand. Like, if you're not using TypeScript, that's as perfectly fine as if you're using it, right? JavaScript is a dynamic language, just as Python and Ruby on Rails or Ruby, and not using TypeScript is perfectly fine. So don't get bullied into thinking that you must use TypeScript. You don't, absolutely at all, right? In fact, it's as good to not use it as it is to use it, right? So the thing is, I'm not actually sure where more and more people you don't have to use TypeScript, right? You can write JavaScript. Is a beautiful language. It had its own quirks and issues 10 years ago. Now a lot of those things are fixed with newer APIs and stuff. So you do not have to use TypeScript. There's no rule written somewhere. How it's like, if you're writing JavaScript, you don't. In fact, don't use it if you don't want to use it. And you're gonna be as good, and in many circumstances, even better if you're not using it. So let's just set that clear, right? You do not have to use TypeScript. All right, so that kind of works. Okay, that kind of works. Okay, great. It's not completely disgusting. My pleasure, man. I mean, just keep in mind, again, I'm not suggesting that you shouldn't use it. If you like it, if it solves the problems for you, you should definitely use it. Go for it. It's don't get bullied into thinking that you have to use it. You do not have to use it. There's many great developers there, like Kyle Simpson, guy who wrote the best book on JavaScript, many other developers who are simply not using TypeScript because they like JavaScript, right? Nothing is mandatory. Nothing is mandatory. Only thing that's mandatory is that you're happy and productive and that you're building things. That's the only mandatory thing. The only mandatory thing is that the business that you're building is doing well. That's the only mandatory thing. Everything else is very much questionable, and very much questionable at different times, different code bases. Yeah. Everything is relative, right? and people shouldn't get bullied into those things. It's like Slime, thank you very much, man. Just in simple words, decide which tools you want to use with your team, identify the loopholes or bottlenecks that you have as a team, identify why are you making mistakes here and there, and then when you define all of those things, make technical decisions based on the value that you need, right? A lot of teams out there, they add a TypeScript without actually thinking, all right, why are we doing this? Is this the issue we're having right now? Is this the issue we're having now at this moment in time? Is this the most valuable thing that from a business and team perspective we can do, right? So just be rational, and that's how you're going to make the best decisions, right? If you let others influence your decisions, then you're not making the decisions to solve your own problems. You're just solving, you're satisfying other people's ideas, right? So that you don't want to do that. You want to solve your own problems, not problems of others. I don't have a problem with types. When I do have problems with types, I'm going to add TypeScript. Until then, I'm not going to think about it, right? When I start fiddling with code base and I can't figure out what goes where, I think you guys are watching me here every day for months now. I don't think that I'm spending 3 seconds in a stream figuring out what goes where. I don't have that problem. When I do, I'm gonna solve it. Okay, so yeah. So what do we do? What's the next thing we should do? You can shoot yourself with the TypeScript as well in the foot very badly as well. So you have to be, the thing is, right, you have to be very pragmatic and very, TypeScript doesn't prevent you to do anything, right? Absolutely zero. Because TypeScript adds types, and that's where it starts and ends. TypeScript is a language, right? And majority of the features that TypeScript provides, most people don't use anyway. Most people don't use generics and decorators and a lot of other stuff, templates, etc., etc. People use types. This is a string, this is a number, this interface has this is an enum and stuff like that. And that makes your code in some ways more readable, but it doesn't prevent, it doesn't guard it against stupidity of bad code at all. It just, you can still write bad code that has types, and you can write bad code that doesn't have types. So if you write shitty code, TypeScript is not going to save you. Your code is still going to be shitty. It's just going to be a shitty code with types. So that's the difference. Now, if you're writing good code, then good code with types is indeed even better code. I agree. But so in simple words, the assumption that you're going to shoot yourself in the knee because you don't have the types isn't true. You can shoot yourself in the knee due to so many different reasons by making shitty technical decisions. So yes, adding TypeScript and having those basic types is absolutely useful. But the premise that it's gonna make your code better is wrong, because it cannot make your code better, because it does nothing to your code except it does types to it. You don't suddenly write better code because you have types. Because if that was true, then every single Java or C# code base would be perfect, and it's far from that. Or every single C++ code base would be perfect, and it's far from that. So this is right. Right? I mean, how many TypeScript projects have you seen where people just start slamming any because they can't figure out what type to actually use, right? So the thing is, I don't disagree. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm just saying there's so many other reasons. There's so many other reasons why your code can be bad, and types are not going to make it less bad, right? Types are going to make it right. What would you consider good code? I mean, code that's simple, right? code that's, you know, that's broken down into smaller functions or smaller components or micro routes or controllers, right? So this is kind of, you know, go into some project. Can you in 10 minutes understand the structure of the files? Can you understand, is there any idea, is there any general idea about the code base overall? I'm not talking about patterns now necessarily, right? Is there, when you look at my code base here, right? What is the idea? What is the idea that I'm sharing behind, let's say, this API? Well, if you take a look at my structure, you can make few assumptions about my own code, right? You can say, okay, Alex kind of writes MVC. He kind of structures his files as resources and not flat structures. So you will notice, first thing you're going to notice is that I'm not using controllers folder, routers folder. I'm just treating everything encapsulated. So those are some ideas. So when you read this, you're going to say, okay, I can understand every single API resource has controller and model and stuff. So, okay, so that's some idea, right? When you go into any of those controllers, you will notice the same patterns in there. You will notice that models are just basically defined tables. So this is basic kind of structure, and this structure tells you something, right? If you would deep dive more into the code, you would see that I write very small controllers, small handlers, and they do very little things. Then you would move somewhere else. You would see that I invented some sort of naming conventions here, just so I can kind of find things easier, like grep or with command P or whatever. So you can see setup fakers, setup plugins, setup Postgres, and each one of those things does very, very little, right? This is my routes, this is my plugins. So in simple words, a good code base is the code base that has some general idea and general guidelines. So you have implemented all of those ideas in the subsystems or things that matter. So okay, this is how I structure my files and folders. This is how I do utilities. This is how I validate. This is how I do error handling. So you cover those basic things. And of course, if you're using a good framework like I am, Fastify, then I don't even have to think about it much, because Fastify doesn't really allow me to have too many opinions, which is in a way good, because some people which are way smarter than me, they applied some opinions on their own, and I trust their opinions. So now, if this wasn't like this, if my files and my structure didn't exist, no level of types or strict typing would save me from that stupidity, because that code would still be bad just with types, right? So that's why I say we're giving the strict typing way too much importance, as if people only make mistakes because they don't have types. But that's not true at all. People make mistakes which are way worse than not having types. I mean, people just make stupid decisions, they implement stupid things, they don't validate their inputs, they console log their errors, they don't do error handling, they etc, etc, etc. So you should focus way more on those things than on, you know, oh my god, I can see that this is a string, right? Exactly, 100%, definitely. But I mean, keep in mind, sure, like there's a huge misconception in the programming community, and that is that there is every line of code that you write, in the opinion of others, is going to be treated as a bad code. And that's not because the code inherently is bad, that's because the perception of developers is horribly bad, is way worse. So let me elaborate that. People, for example, talk about code as legacy, as if not all code is legacy. I mean, the moment when you write the line of code, that line of code is a legacy line of code. So instead of thinking about code as good or bad, you have to think about the code as something that constantly changes. So you might think that you're clever, and you might think, oh my god, who wrote this gibberish? Let me rewrite all of that. But the problem with that approach is that you're gonna rewrite it, then other guy is gonna come, or girl, and say, oh my god, who wrote this shit? Let's rewrite that again. So fundamentally, all code is equally bad and all code is legacy, right? So you cannot have such perception, because good code is the code that works at the end of the day, right? Because if we apply this sort of thinking towards code, then we're gonna keep rewriting everything all the time because the perception is wrong. So every code, I mean, if you take most of the code bases out there, right? If you take most of the code bases out there, you can kind of assume that on some average level they're of a similar quality, right? So if you take 100 companies and compare their code bases, you could probably assume that the quality of this code is very similar. If you give or take, you know, some company is gonna have this guy doing this better, whatever, right? So instead of thinking about, there's no such thing as legacy code. This code that I write today is gonna be legacy tomorrow, right? So having such perception of things and what is a good code, bad code. The good code is the code that works, that pushes the business forward, and it's a dynamic thing, right? So it's gonna change. This code that I write now might, if this project succeeds, someone else might rewrite it or change it in a year from now, right? So I think, and I mean, you don't have to change your perception anyway, right? You don't have to change your perception because I told you, but you will change your perception anyway, I promise you, because now with this AI stuff coming out, you have to understand that the skills that you will need in the next couple of years are going to change. So are you going to listen to what I'm saying or not is absolutely irrelevant, because what I'm saying I think is true, and you will change your perception either willingly or forcibly, because the market is going to force you going to do that, right? Because as we go on, you know, in the future, it's going to be less and less relevant, you know, how perfect the code is, because most of it we're not going to write anyway, right? It's going to be AI and tools and stuff like that, right? So that's how it is. That's how it is. So perfect code, great code, this code, that code. I mean, do you have open source projects with similar structure to clone it and play around? I'm not actually sure. Let's take a look. Give me 1 second. Just 1 moment, please. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's honestly, yeah. The thing is, I mean, you see, I think Diogenic, I think I agree with you, right? I definitely agree with you. That's the thing is, I don't think that, I think the most true sentence, the most true explanation that Diogenic in what you wrote is, wait a minute. The biggest true that you wrote is that's my standard. That's your standard, and I agree with you, but that's not my point here. Is that when someone else comes today, some other developers, and sees your standard, that person is gonna treat that standard of yours, no matter how good you think it is, as, oh my god, who the hell wrote this crap? Let's rewrite this in this shiny new thing, right? Exactly. So that's the problem. But it's not the problem with your code. It's the problem with our perception, right? Because most developers, instead of actually sitting and understanding things, exactly. And that's all because the approach, it's not about the code, right? Because I don't think that any professionals in any industry on the planet have such self-confidence like us. Because all of us very bravely assume that we're gonna rewrite it better than the previous person. That's like, I've never seen such self-confidence in any other industry in my life. It's like, this guy wrote 73,000 lines of code. I think it's time to rewrite all this because I'm clearly gonna do it better. It's like, okay, let's let's see. And it's just this vicious circle that never ends, right? It's pretty crazy. But yeah. That's how it is, man. That's how we operate. We still operate on a kindergarten level. That's how we still think that this job of ours is a video game of some sort. But yeah, that's gonna change very soon. That's gonna change. This industry is not gonna be, yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna change. Exactly. You're probably thinking, oh my god, who the hell wrote this gibberish? Who the hell wrote this crap? Ah, shit, I did. Sometimes, sometimes I do that to myself. I'm sitting with my PM, with my product manager. We're planning the week or quarter, and I'm like, who the fuck wrote this shit? And then I hover over it and I see my name next to it, and I'm like, shit. Exactly, man. Literally. Yeah. Yeah. It's like, shit. I stopped doing that. I'm not that naive anymore. I first look now, and if it's someone else, then I put the blame on it. Never gonna do that so emotionally again. Okay. So let me actually just do one thing. That's how it is, man. It's kind of funny how when I go to, I go to Indie Hackers, right? So this is one of my favorite websites, right? So this is kind of the place that I like to hang out, right? Here, this is basically people like us who like to build things, right? And I come here sometimes, right? And there's a bunch of people on this platform that I'm showing you now. What they basically do is that, many of them have quit their jobs and stuff. They build 2 or 3 small products, mobile apps mostly, and then they live off of that, right? So they build several applications, they maintain them in the app store or whatever, la la la. And then it's kind of funny how a lot of those people can barely code, right? They can literally barely code, but they just put things out there and they make money. They literally buy their own freedom. They don't work for anybody, right? And it's kind of funny when that's also what the theme of this stream always is. Like, one thing that I would like people to take from me when they watch me is to realize that balance between, yeah, 1 second, let me show you. It's just like you have those people who can barely write anything and just kicking ass, making money, making business happen, right? And then you have us, just... let me share it with you. Give me 1 second. Thank you very much for the follow. Where is it? Wait. Yeah, sure. So I have recorded the video for my Windows terminal, and I put all the wallpapers in here. So actually, if you go to this repository, just go into wallpapers here. My pleasure, man. Just go into wallpapers, and you also, if you care about this terminal crap, you also have the video I recorded, so take a look at it. But irrelevant, right? If you just want the wallpaper, just go. I don't know which one of those is it. I can actually try to tell you. Give me 2 seconds. Where the hell would that be? Yeah, nah. Actually, wait. I might have a direct link to it because I uploaded it. I think it's this thing. Yeah, that's my current background. In my VS Code, basically. I just found them online. I hold no credit for any of those. I just found them online, and I just figured, hey, it might be useful to people who watch this video to play with it, right? Could I please could I ask one of you to go to Programmer Network and just see if you can get this error? So Sullivan, when he was here, he said that when he goes to the feed and he clicks this icon here, the share icon, and he copies it, he says that he gets object. Unfortunately, I can't seem to reproduce that. Like, does anyone have 2 seconds just to give it a shot? Because I actually wanted I want to move this to either not done. Which browser are you using? Like, what the like, how? So you did exactly... Ah, okay. Okay. That probably explains it. Give me 1 second. Wow, what the hell? It's not even opening it. So yeah, I need to sit. It's okay. So shit, man. So this is cached very long ago. Okay, so super hard cached. Okay, thank you very much, Leo. Love you, man. Thanks. That's really helpful because I was like a maniac trying to reproduce it and I couldn't. Oh, okay. So there's no. Okay, yeah. Okay, so basically, okay. So Kirill, are you there? I don't know if Kirill is still with us. I think he implemented this feature and I think he knows about it more than me. But I think he tried to implement this native functionality, right? So Kirill, like I correct me if I'm wrong, I believe you implemented this sharing functionality, right? I think we did, you and I agreed to use this native browser API, right? I'm just showing you here that in Firefox, Shay, good evening, buddy. I'm just showing you that in Firefox, it actually doesn't work. You can see when you copy it, it copies the object reference, basically. Not much, my man, not much. Just hacking away, discussing stuff, enjoying actually some pretty nice subjects we just discussed. And just ask the fellas. I'll also help you now, just for 2 seconds. How is this? Let me try to help you because maybe it's something super silly. In Vivaldi, same behavior. Okay, so it seems it's only working in Chrome. I see. Okay. MT. Okay. Oh shit, that's a wrong project. Give me a second. Thank you very much. So in Vivaldi, so it seemed okay. Here it is, right? URL, share URL. Yeah, I know that it is exactly. It's staying with Brave. Okay, but let's take a look. Let's take a look. Can I use and then navigator.share? Let's say navigator.share. Oh my god, man. Oof, man. Shit. Wait, I just need shit, dude. Shit. Shit. This guy, man, is a legend. He killed me. After I watched this series, I was never the same again. I mean, I think it's the most artistic way to say shit in galaxy, in humankind. Shit. If you ever need to cheer up... Okay, that's a wrong copy-paste. If you ever want to cheer up, don't flex gap mt1. Instead, my best man, thank you, my best man. Okay, this was a huge mistake that we implemented this. I mean Jesus Christ, man, like what the okay, oh my god. So why? Ooh, oh, I see. No, but it seems that we did think about it. We're just saying if navigator and navigator can share, So I think the issue is here, actually, instead. Yeah, I think issue is probably actually here, because we're only using the navigator share. Let's just fix this one, because I think it kind of... Bugs are always the highest priority, right? I suspect that this data... Let's actually just... Let's try to figure it out together. So I just want to fix this right away, because things shouldn't be broken, right? So where's my Firefox? Then I open it like somewhere. Yeah, let's open it here, Firefox. So let's go there again. Yeah, so let's try that. Let's zoom into Oblivion. So if I click this thing, shut up, man. Okay, so if we click this thing, we're still getting object. Okay, so I mean, it should be a very easy fix, right? So let's see what's happening. So we are, give me 1 second. Where's the thing? All right, let's see what's happening. Yeah, that's the problem. So the data is the object. It's not the string. It's not a string, right? So that's the problem, right? 100%, 100%. Let's go. Yeah. This should be data.url, right? So 100% has to be that. There we go. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's the problem. Yeah. Dude, absolutely not. I made so many mistakes, or it's the nature of how much time we have and stuff. Super easy to just yeah, miss some. Okay, great. Sheet. Okay, let me just commit a bunch of this gibberish, and then we're gonna. I want to push this to the production right away. Sheet. It's gonna be. Forgive me, Carol. It's gonna be the most useless commit message as always for me, because I don't have the luxury, you know, with the limited time we have to commit every single thing, every single stream. We write a few hundred lines of code, so it's a bit hard to think too much about it, right? So it's going to be completely useless commit. I'm actually just storing this code base, so let's just say updates. Sheet. Let's just push this to our repo, and then we're gonna check out to master and push this fella. I need an alias on this computer, man. I really need an alias. That's kind of also the beauty of this stream. I don't have to think about too much about commits, right? Fix share, fix copy URL, whatever. Did we actually add this? Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, beautiful. Great, beautiful. Okay, so let's just move that to done, right? It was just one of you guys reported it, and it was the only bug that you reported that I didn't fix because I couldn't reproduce it. I should have just assumed it's a different browser, right? Sheet. I just need to see it. Nah, sheet. Is it building? Websites, yeah. Programmer network. Man, what am I doing? What am I doing, bro? Okay. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, it's building. Okay, cool. Then let's just see in a second should be live, and then you guys can just also test. But it should be fixed now. That's cool. Okay. And let me just, we haven't actually checked our Grafana today. Let's see if we had any malicious attempts from bots and stuff like that. Let's take a look at the API logs. Okay, so today we had few 500s. I'll need to investigate what failed. So we had 4 500s. We didn't have actually any WordPress related like report attempts to find okay, so that's the last 24 hours we had 6 500s. I need to kind of aggregate this better. I need to take the time to learn this Grafana query language better, and I will in the upcoming weeks. I do a bit of that every day, because ideally, right? So just if you kind of care to know what I actually want to, what I would really like to get at with Grafana, right, is I would like logs like this. I would like to send the status code, the message stack, and type. Then I can almost make my low-key and promptail and stuff logs as useful as almost as, let's say, centric.js or something, without paying for it, right? So in simple words, where I want to get at is that when I see those logs and I open one of those JSON objects, right, from my Fastify logs, I see the stack trace, and then I can kind of use it actually to debug my code, because right now this is absolutely useless, right? It's like, hey, at this timestamp, and I don't know why is it closing, right? Something went wrong. It's like, okay, cool, man, thanks. It's very useful, right? Good to know that something somewhere has went wrong, right? So that's kind of so I'll need to configure my Fastify, or to say Pino.js, right? Fastify is using Pino logger, right? This fella here. So we might do that together this week. We'll need to configure Pino to basically, report something a bit more useful than, what we have now, right? But this is kind of, yeah, something more or less like this, right? And this guy is amazing. I really like Mecolino. I respect this guy. I respect this guy a lot, actually. Pretty cool guy. Very, very very hardworking, and does a lot of great stuff for us who are using Node.js, right? So if you're not following this guy, give him a follow. Very, very good guy. Very good engineer as well. Very good engineer. Cool. Is this yeah, so this is deployed. I think if we just go to, let me just open Firefox just to see if that tiny thing is fixed. Programmer network. Yeah, he's a very good guy. Very, very, very skilled, very good. Contributed to Node.js a lot. He's the creator of Fastify, right? And of Pino, which is also the logger, right? What did I want to do? So let's see, can I copy this? Yes, okay, that should be fixed. Yeah, he writes code 24/7. Yeah, I mean, he's basically working open source full time, right? So yeah, that's how it is, right? That's how it is. Now, someone asked me, is courses being pushed to production? No, not yet. Unfortunately, so I think what I'm gonna do, 1 or 2 days this week, I'm not going to stream. I'm just gonna sit and finalize the UI and stuff, because it's very hard for me to do that in the stream, because I'm getting distracted by chat and stuff. And it's not that you guys are distracting me, it's that I'm distracting myself, because I see some interesting question and then I can't force myself to just shut up and not answer it, right? Man, like, why is this shitty message appearing so frequently, man? It's seriously so annoying. Let me disable that crap. Jesus Christ, man, I hate spam, and I'm literally the one spamming. Why am I doing that? Where is this crap, man? It's like, I feel it's spamming that every 2 seconds. Like, that's, what is this command? What is it? If you're enjoying the stream, what is that crap, man? Where is that? Jesus Christ, man. Font background, where is this shit? Terminal focus about, what is this, man? Schedule tag, thanks. Is it follow or something? About, what the alert, timers, is it? Yeah, it's this, man. Oh my god, dude, Jesus Christ. What does this interval mean, man? Interval, values in minute. God, man. Okay. Stickers, what stickers? Where is that crap? Let me disable that as well. Oh yeah, is it probably here? I guess it's here as well, right? The stream stickers extension. Where the hell is that, man? Fuck's sake, man. The spamming shit is just so annoying, man. Where is that crap, man? How do I disable that? Gateway, timers, no, commands. What is it called? Stickers. Donation, no, man. Give me 2 seconds. Thank you everybody for your follows and your support, guys. Highly appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Let me just disable that crap because it's here it is. My God, man. I think I got it. I think I nuked it. Is there anything else that I have enabled? Let's just delete it all, man. Jesus Christ, man. I have one question. Did any of you get those annoying ads? Because somebody told me that you got ads, and I showed you that all ads on my end are fully disabled. And they were disabled always. There was not a single minute of this stream since I started streaming a couple of months ago that ads were enabled. 2 days. Okay, so that was Twitch being greedy and doing something. Okay, good to know. Because I wanted to email them. I wanted to email them and ask them, you know, why are my viewers seeing ads when they are disabled, right? Because then just remove the setting, man. Just remove the setting and tell people, hey, now you're gonna have to watch ads, and that's it, right? Yeah, but some people complain that you can't block them with that blocker. I'm not actually sure. What the fuck happened? Where's your cam? Oh, what's your cam? Sorry. I think you have it... I think you have the... No, shit. Maybe like this? No. Well, you can check it in my Twitch stream, I think, somewhere. I think you can check it here. It's this one. Yeah. This is my camera. So Sony A6000. Yeah. I don't know much about cameras. I don't know which lens or whatever. But anyway, you can find it in the description. No, man, absolutely no. It's of course, dude. I think it's again Sony A6000, and then I'm using Elgato 4K. I'm using, I think, cam. So I'm using Elgato 4K cam link as well. So it's a professional camera that's plugged into this crap. Impossible car. Yeah, I have it in the description. Okay. Of course, I do a little bit car, but insignificant. My pleasure, dude. My pleasure, man. Man, shut the fuck up. Good evening. Forever and ever, the most amazing nickname on Twitch. It's an actually good lesson to people as well. Amazing. Yeah, imagine, yeah. he just showed up and I was like, good evening, shut the fuck up. How are you, man? It's like, you know, he goes in front of his girlfriend. It's like, hey, baby. Hey, shut the fuck up. How are you? How amazing that is, right? Mr. Shut the fuck up. How are you doing today? So beautiful. So last night I was hanging out with Shut the fuck up, and you know, it was a great time. He told me that, yeah. Okay. All right. Shut the fuck up. He was probably the best kid at school. He was like just annoying and shit, and the teacher would be like, shut the fuck up, and you're like, yes, ma'am. All right, great. Okay, so let's, well, yeah, let's, yeah, whatever. Fuck it. I don't know, man. Good evening, shut the fuck up. How are you? Ah, it's fine. You know, it's okay. I just can't get it out of my head now. My brain is just creating permutations of possibilities of what's possible with that name. Jesus Christ, man, you just destroyed me even more. I was having a hard time focusing and now it's even worse. Okay, fuck, I need to... Okay, fuck off, man. Jesus Christ. Whew. Where was I? Where am I? Who am I? He confused me completely. Completely destroyed me. Okay, so let's imagine we did that. He just destroyed me, man. Like, I need like 1 minute for my brain to get that out of my head. It's just like, he killed me. Absolutely killed me. Okay, so yeah. Alright, well, I thought that I was seeing an issue there, but I was wrong. How could I have assumed that my code is having issues? Oh my god. What a naive assumption. You're putting in it. Yeah. Okay, let me just try to break it. This is another way of unit testing. We try to break it from any potential perspective. There we go. Okay. How do you write your unit tests? Well, you know, I have this mouse and I click. How do you do integration tests? You know, I click on different pages at once, one after another. Great, man. All right, cool. So I think that's good. Yeah, exactly. You use the mouse. Yeah, here he is with his exactly. What a noob. He's not even... Actually, do I have my NeoVim set up here? I don't know. Nah, fuck. Are you kidding me? I don't? What? No, I should have. What? All right. No, dude, no. Where's my... Don't fuck with me, man. Oh, shit. No, dude. Dude. What happened with my... Yeah, so it did. Yeah, exactly. Let me just, because I was making a course, I actually No, okay, that kind of sucks. I just wanted to troll him and not use the keyboard. But something happened here actually. What the fuck? Where's my, okay. Well, no, it's kind of here, right? Yeah, so I have my grep and my fuzzy search. So yeah. Let's see, is it actually working? It is, right? Okay, but my theme is a little bit messed up, right? It is. All right, well, yeah, not gonna have no changes there. Okay, whatever. Okay, man, shut the fuck up is out of my head. That's great. Okay, so what can I do still tonight to feel productive at least? Because I think I feel right now that I'm at personally the point where I need to sit off stream and design this. Like, just need to draw a bit of stuff, need to finalize the permissions and stuff. And then maybe, yeah, so we have so many things to design here, right? Like we have the landing page, and where do we put it? This is just here as a play, just so we can kind of click around easier. This is obviously not going to be here, right? So where is it going to be? How are we going to do this initial landing page? If we go to like Udemy, right? They obviously, it's so easy, you know, when you have a lot of content, right? Right, like those guys, they have a lot of shit to put here, right? This is the hardest thing for me with this project, right? The hardest thing is that no matter what you build, it just lacks content, right? So you need to give it time and stuff. So for us, this thing, right? It's not about coming up with the UI. That's super easy. But it's super easy when you have 5 billion courses like those guys, right? It's not rocket science. It's like, well, we just should probably just put them next to each other and it works. Well, yeah, of course. But so it's like so hard now when we're just introducing this thing, and it might take a year before there's multiple courses, right, on it. So it's like, how do we, yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like very few of us, if anyone in this chat, in this stream today, has been at the situation like this, where you, okay, now I have created this new product, new community. You get what I mean? So it's easy over time as the product grows, and there's, you know, you can fill in stuff. It's like, what do you do now, right? So when we release this feature, we're gonna release it with no courses, right? So it's kind of, you know, and I actually read the story of Udemy, right? I read their story of their founders. So when they released this platform, they literally paid the contractors, and then they recorded some of the videos themselves, just so they can have some content, right? So I think I'm gonna do the same in a sense. I'm gonna record like a Fastify course, error handling, whatever, a bunch of other stuff, just so we can fill it up, right? So yeah, so I'll need to kind of sit with my own brain on that, right? Okay, is there I'm just gonna do one quick thing, very easy thing. Thank you very much, guys, for your support, for following and all of that stuff. Yeah, okay. So if we get over here, over here. So here we have a form somewhere. And now, of course, some of you who've been watching me could ask maybe slightly logical or illogical questions. Like, I want to trim some text now from a field. You can say, why don't you do that in your AJV custom validator, for example, right? And this is kind of a trap that I saw people doing, mutating data in their validation, right? That's horrible, right? You should never do that. So of course, what we could indeed do, we could mutate with AJV. You can in fact pass a specific attribute that makes the validation or makes the schema also to be able to mutate things. But you should not do this. You should not mix the validation and then normalization of your data or whatever, right? That's pretty scary. Pepper, yes, 100%. That's how it is gonna be. That's how it is gonna be. Yes, 100%. 100%. Yes. That's how it is gonna be. Because we need, as I'm building this platform with Kirill and hopefully in the future more people, it needs to provide value. Let's not deceive ourselves, right? Like no product is useful if it provides, well, that's kind of stupid statement, but you get what I mean. Like you have to provide some reasons for people to not signing up. People will sign up. I know that probably in a couple of months from now we're gonna have like 10,000 people who registered, but people who are gonna come back, they have to come back for something, right? And that's entirely different thing, right? See you tomorrow, Leo, my friend. Thank you. Thank you for being here always, man. Really. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that a lot. So I think what we could do for our inputs, my pleasure, man. My pleasure. Thank you for being here, dude. So I think what I'm actually going to do, just as a systematic type of thing, right, is let me just try one thing now. So if I go to my profile and I do something like this. Oh, nah, actually I'm not even allowing an empty space now. That's great. What? So this sort of stuff is really good. Let's just stay with this for 2 seconds, because I'm always incredibly happy when I get an error like this, because this is the errors that we need to know that they happen, right? So this is the sort of errors that you're like, yes, great, because now I know that it even happens, right? So let's go to controller, let's go to 399. I think this is where it kind of happened, right? So yeah. And the reason why this happens is something messed up with the tags, I can see, right? So I think it says, if you read a stack trace here, right, it says, where is it? Where is it? I just saw it, 399 somewhere. Yeah, so here, right, so 396. So this is basically where that happened, right? So if we take a look at that here, so it happened basically in here. So something gets messed up with the tags, right? So we try to create some tags. So this I suspect is happening to other people as well. Ah, okay. So I think what happens is that, give me 2 seconds. Let me just take a look at one thing. Tag. Categorize this number 2, okay. 3 and 1. Let's go there. Let's go there while we have this golden opportunity to actually figure out what the hell is happening. So I'm just going to wrap this whole fella in a try catch, just so we can get, maybe, we don't really have to actually, but yeah, we don't actually have to. Let's go to error handler, because let me see what we get here. 500 validation error stack. So basically what happened, we ended up here, right? And type is empty because the error doesn't really have a type. Okay, I see. So let me just print the error instead, like this, the whole error object. So log error. Let me not do this fella here. Let's try this again. Good, great. Amazing. Okay, good. Here we are. Okay, so I think we got now something slightly more useful. Okay, insert into user tags, user ID tag ID values, returning user ID tags. So basically, what's happening is that we're trying to insert the duplicated tag, right? Which is fine. So there's several questions we have to answer. First of all, why are we not handling this error properly? So why is it? I think we are actually handling it properly in a way. Okay. So we are actually handling it, and I have all of those custom exceptions here, because if we take a look, no, we are not actually handling it. Okay, that fucking sucks. So why is it not being caught here, right? So is this a validation error? Let's say, is it a validation error? Error dot validation, let's see. Is it validation error undefined? Okay, so for whatever reason, this isn't the error type that we expect, and it should be. And that validation error item. Ooh. What? Ah, sequelize unique constraint error. So this is the error type, I guess, right? Let's see. So, okay, good. So we learned something new. Oh man, I love this so much. Fuck yeah. So great. I love error handling. I'm obsessed by it, honestly. I'm literally obsessed by it. So let's cover this. This is horrible. This is pretty horrible. So I thought though that we are handling this, and we are not, because we have sequelize errors here, right? So we do have sequelize constraint error here, right? So we are actually handling it. The problem is that the way that we're handling, we just respond with 400, and that's completely useless, right? That's completely useless. Let's see if we would actually respond with the error. If we would expose too much, we probably would, but let's see what happens, right? If we hit this again, now we should get the error, bad request validation error. Yeah, so we actually need to... What if we would do something like this? Or, and just FYI, especially if you're not very experienced with error handling, this is the most natural path of how you generally do error handling, with the exceptions or things that you don't know about. So this is how you do them generally in a project lifecycle. You learn about the errors that you didn't get before, and then you basically handle them. All right. So in this case, we actually didn't know about this error at all until now. So let's try to say, what do we get here? So we have errors, parents. Okay. So let's try to say something like this. So if error is instance of Yep. So there's several things here we're fixing. So the bug that we have to fix is not really important. So this is not going to fix our bug. What we need to handle this error in general. Our bug is something different, and we're going to fix that in a second. So we're not fixing the bug. We're just trying to handle this specific thing when it happens maybe again in the future. Christian, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. So, okay. Okay, so actually, okay, so let me do something a bit smarter here, right? Because I think the best way to really solve this is already solved, which is because the user cannot really fix this. They cannot recover from this. So there's nothing I can show in the UI now that's going to fix this for our user, because we have to fix this now ourselves. But I think what we can do, instead of logging this like this here, let's actually do another thing. So what is this is custom error? Did I introduce this somewhere? So I have a custom error class that I created. I see. Okay. I see. Not very useful, but okay. All right, let's say here errors or whatever. Let's create, let's say error handling or whatever. Let's create an index in there. Let's do something like this. I mean, we can do this in so many ways. We can also create a decorator or whatever. For now, I don't want to spend too much time on it. Let's start somewhere. Let's not, yeah. This is useless. This custom error I actually implemented is pretty useless, right? When did I do that and why? Parser error wrong URL provided type. Okay. Well, the stack should be actually here anyway, right? Because we are inheriting from the error, right? So we can still do the stack, and then we can, yeah, then we can re-question this a bit later. So let's just make sure we do that, right? Then we'll figure out what we can do better. Actually, we'll also re-question this eventually. For now, let's just let's just go along. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I'm just trying to make our logging as awesome as it possibly can be. Now, how useful is this going to be? No, I mean, this needs to kind of be somehow generic. Otherwise, doing anything in the logs is actually going to be a disaster, right? So this is a stupid idea, right? That's actually pretty stupid, right? So let's try to stick to this, and then, yeah. Yeah, let's try to yeah, exactly. So let's stringify this, for example, right? We could say message is JSON.stringify, and then whatever the errors are. So we still stick to that message, right? What do I actually want to get? I want to get... So we pretty much want to do like... me 2 seconds. Ah, shit. I'm an idiot. Yeah, we can't do that there. All right, never mind. Let's just say at the end something like this. Worst case, if none of this actually evaluates, we can just say, or sequelize error. Is there a stack? Okay, there is. Okay, that's good. Give me 2 seconds. Dot detail. Let's just detail message errors. Let's just actually I have an idea. Wait, maybe we can learn a bit about this sort of type of stuff by grabbing this fella like this. Let's try that. It could be an interesting idea. Aggregate errors. No, actually, here's where the error actually starts, right? So let's try to... yeah, exactly. Screw you. Is this still... No. So where was it? Where was it? Come on. Let me just, I'm gonna share a playlist in 2 seconds. Let me just do this while it's in my mind, because I really want to solve this validation error. So what would be super cool, because now I'm just thinking right about, I'm thinking about my Loki, my Grafana, my Prometheus, right? And I'm thinking this is useless to get this whole stack trace in there, right? Because I don't care about internals, right? So somehow it would be nice that every time we kind of parse this stack trace before we do the log, so we can then get actually relevant stuff, right? So, okay. So give me a second. For the first time today, I'm actually going to use the, ChatGPT. Actually, why didn't we use it more frequently today? We should have, because that thing can actually write code, unlike me. This is a custom error that I'm logging. Whatsoever, since I'm using Loki with Grafana, stack trace like this is useless, and it reveals way too many library stacks that I don't care about. Can you somehow filter out black box those details so I only see the stack trace from my actual code base? Whatever, actually not the greatest thing, but let's see. Playlist, I mean, this is this is actually I downloaded this stuff. Give me 2 seconds. I downloaded this stuff, but I can try to find it for you. I download a lot of this stuff from YouTube, so I don't need to play it constantly. Let me try to find it for you. Give me 2 seconds. Found it. There you go, buddy. This is my local host file. This is not the how stack trace will look like. All right, let's try this. I genuinely want to try this thing to be pretty useful for us, right? Because yeah. If we go to our code and we go to this log error, right? We can have this private, let's just call it a private function to some extent, right? And what is this taking? Error stack split. So let's just pass it a stack instead. Let's say also here if something like that, right? So let's try hitting this again and see what we get. So not much, did we, right? Did this actually work? Did it work? Tactics, thank you very much, buddy. Appreciate it. Okay, so that's a bit awkward. Are we returning it? Yeah. So regex pattern to match the desired file paths, excluding node modules and other unwanted folders. Okay. All right, let's continue the chat with the ChatGPT. Maybe only include files that just to narrow it down, right? We need to narrow. We need those stack traces to actually be very precise. Like we need to get rid of the noise here, right? That's what we're trying to do, right? We don't need this gibberish, right? At all. All right, let's try this again. Try that again. Yeah, there we go. That's better, right? Of course, now we are getting a little bit more useful stack trace, right? Now, of course, this is just narrowing down stuff to the actual API. How would those file paths look on the server, though, right? Is the question. Because in that case, then we would know a bit more. But I like this, at least it's better, right? So now at least, at the very least, right, we're seeing something useful. Okay, great. Let's go with that for now. I mean, we don't need to, this is not actually only for Loki. I think this potentially is useful also for development as well, right? So we can get rid of a lot of this annoying logs that actually nobody cares about, right? And yeah, I mean, so yeah, okay. So another thing we're gonna actually do here is we're gonna say export const log errors by type, and we're gonna be a bit more clever about this now, right? Because we can see that we're repeating ourselves way too many times. So let's, instead of this, let's do, so we're gonna only centralize this in one place, and then we're gonna have a logger handling stuff, right? So let's do this, let's write a bit more of an imperative code here, right? So actually we're gonna say, hey, you know, error. So we're gonna actually do, we're gonna do something like this. So we're gonna cover those things, and then we're gonna say, okay, right, we're gonna do something like that. What else did we have there? And then we're gonna actually get rid of this. Then we're gonna do something like this. So if it's, yeah, whatever, let's just say const is custom validation error. Not super clear, I agree, but that's how I did it. So let's not question that now, because I can't recall why. And actually, yeah, okay, let's get rid of that. Error validation, so cool. And then here we had essentially if it's one of the sequelize errors, right? Let's say here const is sequelize error, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not super like clear with some of those things, because I don't have enough of knowledge of some of those error types. We're gonna have to investigate those, but either way, we're fine. What is it? Where is it? That's actually awkward. Why did it copy this? Oh. That's super strange. Thank you everybody for your follows, guys, and all of that stuff. Appreciate it. So let's do this. Okay. Adnan, thank you very much as well. So yeah, so a sequelize error, and we don't really need to put this in a variable. We can just inline this thing, right? And then we can just we can pretty much do something like this. Yeah. I think those are all of the types we had there. And then here now we can just log based on whatever. We don't need to kind of repeat the same block 15 times for each error type, right? So yeah. Then over here, we're gonna use our log error thing that we just wrote, right? DT code, good evening, my friend. Okay, so now we have to determine based on, we need to determine the properties based on the specific error, right? So like, what is it that we wanna respond with if the error is of type X, Y, Z, right? So what we're gonna do here now is we're gonna say, so we can, and this is kind of this a little bit of imperative code we're gonna write. So we're gonna say error is empty object, right? And then we're gonna say if is custom error, and let's actually just say ERR. So if it's custom error, we're gonna say that error is gonna be status 400. It's pretty much we're gonna say something like this, right? And not quite, but almost, right? Let's see. Yeah. Error message, whatever, that's cool. Error type is going to be custom error types dot custom error. Give me 2 seconds and I'm going to answer the question. Just 1 moment. And then obviously eventually we're going to log that error. So let's just put this log error already in there. I'm gonna say log error. It's gonna get the app and the error, and then status code message type and stack. Yeah, so essentially, yeah, we're gonna always pass the stack along, I guess. Error.stack. Oops, my bad. Stack error.stack, right? Now, do we wanna if we want to be a bit smarter about this, let's not do the filter stack trace here, because let's keep this truly pure. So it takes something and prints it. Let's not do any data mutation here, right? Instead, let's do it here. So we're going to say stack, and then we can say error stack in here, right? And let's make sure this actually gets the stack and not the whole error object. Badman, you can actually go, you can do this and you can go online and sign up. I'll need to round up soon, so it would take a while for me to explain it. So I think 1 picture 1,000 words. If you go to the website, you can see it with your eyes and stuff like that, right? And right now I'm just doing some error handling, or not really error handling, more like logging, because I have you know, Grafana and Prometheus and Tailprompt and a lot of other stuff. So I'm trying to make the Loki, which is parsing my logs. I'm trying to make those logs more useful, so when something bad happens to you guys on the platform, that I can parse that and actually get a little bit better idea of what and why it happened, right? So that's kind of what we're doing now. That's why I'm doing this custom stuff now. Return whatever it is. Okay, great. So that's good. Then we can continue, right? We can say if it's validation error, validation error. What was this validation error? Error type. If error type is validation error, then we had something like this, right? Yes. Okay. We're gonna say ERR, and let me just answer this other question. If Bartels, are you still there? I'm first year in computer science. I'm trying to learn how to code from the courses in Udemy, but it's not enough for me. Do you have any study sites or channels that you can recommend? I'm not sure if you're still there. If you're still there, say something and then we can discuss it. Yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean when you say it's not enough for you? Can you elaborate a bit more? Can you be a bit more specific? So you said you're doing Udemy courses, but it's not enough for me, right? Like, can you elaborate a bit more? What do you mean when you say it's not enough for me? I don't honestly think, don't take me wrong, right? It's up to you guys, right? But I don't generally think that, I don't think that suggesting more resources is going to help, right? Because generally, yes, while Udemy is huge and, you know, there's good and less good courses, generally the problem isn't in the course, right? It's in the approach, it's in the focus, it's in the understanding, it's in knowing how to learn, right? I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of learning how to learn, and unfortunately schools don't really teach you very much of this. So Bartels, you need to provide more context so I can give you anything meaningful. I cannot just give you some random tip, right? I can provide you, I can suggest 15 other resources, but I don't think that's your problem. It doesn't seem like it. So you have to be a bit more specific with that. I mean, are they really different, right? I mean, if you mean that they provide some in-browser graphical user interface where you can type in stuff and click run, sure, I agree with you 100% whatsoever. All Udemy courses are practical as well. You know, they tell you, you know, they give you exercises, they give you this and that, right? So that's why I say, sure, I mean, you're right in the sense that maybe Code Academy or whatever has some GUI that you can click around, but I don't think that that makes it necessarily different. It makes it more convenient, sure, but it doesn't make it necessarily different, right? It's more like convenience type of thing, like, hey, I don't even need to install anything. I can just type things and they're gonna work, right? Oh shit, I think I covered this one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I get you, right? I remember when I was working at thinkful.com, right? I would suggest Code Academy to my students and some of the plural site front-end masters, right? But their problems were very rarely ever the content. It was so many other things. It's actually incredible when you start working as a mentor, you learn so much about people, and then you realize that your job as a mentor is merely just pushing them and being a supportive role in their journey, rather than, you know, there's an assumption that if you have a mentor, you know, it's there just for hard skills, but actually you would be surprised how much that's not true, right? Because a mentor is also somebody who just it plays the role in making sure that you actually, you know, succeed to some extent. It's so important. It contains very little information. I like to dig. Can you provide us an example of something? Because you didn't share anything. I don't know what you're trying to learn, right? So I assume you're a beginner, right? That's what you said. You're your first year, so you're clearly young and you're in university. So yeah, you're just starting with something. So what are you trying to do? What is your expectation? I guess maybe the best way to help you is that you lay down your expectations. So what are you trying to learn, and how would you like it to be explained? So what are you missing? Yeah, actually. So those errors are technically the same, both of them, type, and this one returns type and the errors. So both of them are actually the same, right? So technically we can treat those two. So this is also wrong, right? So let's say it's validation error if it's that, or if it's this, right? Yeah. So yeah, so that's what we actually have to do. So we have to say if it's validation error, then both of them are technically going to have the type and the errors array, right? Yeah, type and the errors array, exactly. Okay, great. Exactly. Okay, so great. Sure. Okay, that's fine, right? So la la la. So let's go back here, and here we're gonna have Apparon. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. So this is actually good. That's also good. That's also good, I think. This is gonna just stringify an array of objects. So that's fine. And lastly, I guess the only thing that we didn't validate here is sequelize. So let's, no, sorry, that's actually completely wrong. So let's call this is, I can't spell sequelize, so I'm just gonna copy sequelize error is sequelize error, and if so, what are we gonna say? If sequelize, well, yeah, that's now what we actually have to say. And what was it that we had here? We did get a bit of help. Shit, I shouldn't have. Yeah, actually this, yeah, beautiful, great. That's amazing. So pretty much what we need is this. Error message, la la la, la la la, yeah. So that's all fine. Let's just go here. Something happened with my VS Code. I can't actually click on that crap anymore. Yeah, so over here, let's say Nim, thank you very much, dude. Appreciate it. So, yeah. So let's do that. Let's do this, right? So yeah, so technically, or at least I think we're now handling pretty much all of it, right? And then if none of those, right, we're just gonna print. So let's just assign the actual error itself to the error here. Now we need to, yeah, we're actually now, yeah, now we're just referencing it there because this is an object. And then if it doesn't get reassigned, it will just print the actual regular error. Now the only problem with this though is that let's make sure that we shit. Okay. Let's just do that, and then what we can do, actually, we can get back here. And now on top of this error handler, we can just call this thing, right? We can just say error log errors by type, and then we can say app and error. Jesus fucking Christ, man, come on, it's pissing me off. And let's ironically, just in case we mess up here, let's wrap this in a try catch. And just have a fallback. I know it's kind of funny. It's like, hey Alex, are you gonna try catch the logic for catching errors, printing errors? Absolutely, I will. Yes. And then what I'm actually gonna do here is I'm gonna, as the fallback, I'm just gonna call no, I did not. No, I did not. No. What are you talking about, man? I'm talking to myself, sorry. I'm just talking to myself right now. What the fuck is going on, man? All right, so that was the issue. Okay, cool. So we have this little logging thing now. Let's actually see what it does, if it does anything properly at all. So what did we get? So we get validation error, stack, whatever, right? Status code 400, message, stack, type, sequelize error. Okay, one thing that maybe would be better if we could do it here is like, it's strange that, okay, let me just print the actual error here, because we're now hiding a bit of internal knowledge about it that the system gave us. How come that this error object doesn't have a message on it? That's incredibly awkward. Okay, I have an idea. So what we can do actually is we can say here, so we can say if error.errors.length So that would be, I think, super useful for this type of stuff. So whenever there's an array of errors of this kind, just give us that right now. Yeah, now we're getting a bit too deep, but I think this would be useful, right? At the very least now. But let's start with this version first. So this is, I think, awesome. So this should be pretty good to start with, and then we can deep dive into those errors later on. So, but now we have some of the types, and I think this can potentially be useful for yeah, for our low-key stuff. So you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna round it up now. It's midnight here, and I need to go to work in like 7 hours. So as always, what is to say? Thank you very much for sticking around. It was super fun. If you're new here, make sure to sign up on our website. I would really appreciate that. And of course, if you wish, join our Discord. My pleasure, Kirill. Thank you very much for being around, and everybody, Gold and Chico and all of you guys. Sleep well, stay well, and I'll catch you guys up tomorrow. Okay, see you. I'll stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. So if you're around. And man, shut the fuck up. Thank you very much for being here, bro. You kind of messed with my brain, and that was amazing. Good night, man. Good night, everybody. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Peace out. Cheers. Bye-bye. Good night.